Dan, there's a great deal of controversy within the field about the use of the DSM, and I think it's important that we explain what that controversy is all about. So in
Sure.
this segment, we're going to talk about what is good about the DSM,
Sure.
what's helpful about
And
it.
a separate one, we'll do the negatives.
That's right.
Okay.
So the first and most important reason the DSM is important, at least to me, is it is a communication tool.
Sure.
We have many different kinds of people with many kinds of training now doing mental health work, including
Right.
addictions counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, counselors, etc. And at least what the diagnostic categories give us is some kind of quick and dirty, if you will, way of communicating.
Sure.
This person is depressed, this person is anxious, and if I receive a referral, I have some starting point.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now, for the new therapist particularly, this can be extremely important because,
I would imagine, right?
sure, when someone presents with what looks like depression, for example, someone who's hopeless and helpless, and someone who's lethargic and maybe irritable, looks like depression.
Right.
Is it major depression, or are we looking at a depressed
Right.
phase of a bipolar
Sure.
disorder,
Sure.
or are we looking at someone who's what I call on strike, just doesn't want to do anything, and so makes up looking like depressed?
Exactly.
Well, this is important because it drives the treatment. If I have a person in a depressed phase of bipolar, the last thing I want to recommend is a antidepressant medication, because evidence has now shown that can trigger mania.
Sure,
Right?
and if you're a new therapist and they're in the depressed phase and then they start getting better, you think, oh, it's working.
Oh, it's working.
But then it goes to the other side.
So
Sure.
in that sense, the specificity of the growing specificity of the categories can be very helpful.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Another plus.
Well, I think that one of the things we do is get reimbursed.
This is true.
You know that you really can't submit something to an insurance company or have the person submit your statement or bill to an insurance company unless it's got one of these numbers. So, I think in that way, it helps to legitimize the profession and the idea that this is a real thing. The person isn't just going for a professional friend kind of deal.
Right, and it puts us on parity with physical ailments.
Right.
That in fact not only is mental illness real, but it is just as real as a medical issue, and it deserves the same respect and treatment that a medical issue like heart disease requires.
Right.